you want to do a show? And I said, yeah, what kind of show? And they said, exact same show that you were doing. I said, good, because we didn't get rid of the sets. We still have them. So we just started using the same sets and went over to TNT. Wow. And then I'm still doing the exact same show. I've done the exact same show 3 times in a row now.
You know what? That's what we want, though. Like, make some noise if you love the exact same show. Oh man. So, during the Monstervision years, you had some pretty epic guests come through. Is there anyone that stood out, or you had a really great time talking to, favorite guest, anything like that?
I love Lance Henriksen, and Lance Henriksen doesn't give interviews. He just normally doesn't give interviews, and so it was a little bit like pulling teeth to get him to come on at all, and he didn't really know what kind of show it was and everything. He was such a good guest because he was straight, honest, you know, and I love the actors who are so, even though they're working in the B-movie world, for whatever reason, either because they prefer that world or because, you know, they just never became big stars or whatever, but they're totally committed every time they go before a camera. And Lance was one of those guys. Lance is one of those guys. He's pure actor, just pure actor, and has an emotional intelligence that's just like so far beyond everybody else. And so I remember Lance being one of my favorite interviews. Some of the more famous people were, they would complain because we have a rule on the show, whether we're live or live on tape, we never repeat. We never do a second take. And some of the more accomplished actors hated that. They just hated it. You know, it's like, what? We can't do a second take? You know, no, we can't do a second take. We're just, you know, whatever mistakes we make, we're going to continue. Wow. And I won't embarrass them, you know,
right,
but
stage,
some names you wouldn't expect, you know, were like, well, I can't do that. You know, they would refuse.
Wow.
So, but Lance was great. Lance was great.
Lance was amazing.
We had a lot of great guests. Roddy Piper was great.
Oh, that must have been great.
Roddy Piper was, you know, very honest about his life and his career, and very committed to making the show work and everything.
Wow.
And some people, like, see, we would never have a chair like this on my show, because this is a comfy chair.
Okay.
I never let people sit in a comfy chair if they were being interviewed.
This is our first time bringing comfy chairs.
You need to be up on the edge of the chair, and it needs to really hurt, you know,
sitting on like
so
a wood box.
So that all you can concentrate on is talking, you know. And so, yeah, we had a lot of great guests.
Very cool. So, and then during that run, it's kind of the inverse question, of course. You appeared on over 50 talk shows yourself. So, having been someone who's interviewed so many other people, when the process is reversed, who did you enjoy being interviewed by?
There's a woman on PBS named Diane Rehm, who's had a show for years and years and years. And we always had so much fun because I would get sort of right up to the line of what's acceptable on PBS.
Oh, wow.
You know,
okay.
I'm sorry, NPR. I'm saying PBS, NPR. And, you know, NPR, they're so straight. They're just so straight, and they're so proper and everything. So I would come on there and kind of be a flamethrower, and you could tell that she liked it. And so it was a great, like, yin and yang thing, where the most proper person on NPR and myself would go back and forth, and it had an energy about it. I always liked those. I liked those shows especially.
Very cool. So also during that time, you were at one point splitting your time between TNT and Comedy Central, I believe, right? And when you spent 2 seasons as a